ההרים, מקפץ על הגבעות, ענד אותי ואמר לי, קומי לך רעייתי, יפתי, ולכי לך, קומי לך רעייתי, יפתי, ולכי לך, קומי לך רעייתי, יפתי, ולכי לך. הסתיו עבר, הגשם חלף, הלך לו, הניצנים נראו בארץ, את הזמיר הגיע.
Welcome to Abracadabra, create what you speak. I'm iLan Azoulai. I'm a spiritual mentor, your host, sound therapist for you who are ready to reclaim your power. And it's about focusing on the joy, on the personal joy that we can be, joy to ourselves and light to the world. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to have this wonderful family, Yedidyah family. We'll introduce each one of them individually. We're sitting in the Sukkah, which is in English what's called tabernacles. Right?
Yeah, or a hat.
Or a hat,
yeah.
or
temporary
a hut.
housing.
Right,
yeah.
It's to commemorate our time leaving Egypt, and it's interesting that it happens at this month and not in April. That's a whole discussion that maybe we'll get to that. But what's interesting here is that our last in-person meeting was around March,
right,
before this Quranic time started.
Right.
The Quranic time, and this is the first meeting in Sukkot. In the time of joy, to be in joy, and to be in joy in Hebrew, besimcha, if we change the word, that's right, and you'll be joy in your holidays. But the word besimcha, in joy, if you change the words, it's thought, machshava.
Right.
So it is really the way that we look and the way that we think of us and our surroundings and how we project ourselves to the world. So, without further ado, I want to introduce Rabbi Yakira Yedidia. Oh, wonderful ordained rabbi. This is such a blessing. Aaron, her husband. Olivia, and Olivia is playing the flute. And Lenny. And
we're missing Ella.
We're missing Ella.
Yeah, she has a lot of work to do, so she didn't come.
And the beautiful here is that Yedidyah family is a band. It's not, aside from a family, is a band, and I think if there weren't a family, the band would not exist. It's really the unity and the coming together, and everybody is taking part in this joy, in this party. And we just released the new CD, right?
Yes.
And we're getting it closer here.
October 1st.
October 1st.
This is our second CD.
This is the second CD, and when you have we have
the first CD as well. So that was the first CD. And we released Vayehi Or, Let There Be Light.
Let There Be Light.
And especially now more than ever, we need to pray for light, and
Amen.
May we have light.
Amen.
This year.
Amen. And this is what we do. We are beacons of light, each one of us. And when we just we focus, let's do our part on focusing on the light, because there are enough people that are focusing on the darkness.
Right. On spreading light,
promoting light, and this is why we're here. So, welcome. Thank you very much for embracing our Sukkah, and
thank you for having us.
Oh, pleasure. So
we're gonna sing Adonai Sefatai Tiftach. It's the 6 words that we say before Tfilat Amidah, and it's very powerful. I mean, these 6 words: Adonai Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. God, open up my lips, and my mouth may speak your praise.
Amen.
שפתיי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך אדוני שפתיי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך Speak your praise, Adonai. Open my lips, that my mouth may speak your praise. יגיד תהילתך שפתיי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך.
Wonderful, thank you. Wow, what a blessing. So, wow, so here we are. This is really unusual, you know. This is, I mean, you know, probably.
Yes.
This is unusual. So, Yakira, you're not new to singing. I mean, you're not new to music. Also, Aaron, before you guys. Sorry, they were here first,
Yes.
you know. So,
A little before.
the very first. So, so you're a rabbi. You're a spiritual leader. You have you perform services. But you come from a world of music. You come. How's your upbringing? Was it secular? Was it religious? How did you?
It was
where
secular.
Were you born in Israel, right?
Yes, I was born in Israel. It was secular, but it was also masorti in a way. I liked it traditional. Yeah. My dad grew up in a cheder. He's Yemenite,
Wow,
so he
yeah.
had a very strong foundation with religion. My mom, from my mom's side of the family, my grandpa was a cantor. When he came in the 50s, in the early 50s, when he did Aliyah to Israel, there were no synagogues in Israel. In Holon, when he came,
Yeah.
and he and his friends founded 3 synagogues.
Oh, wow.
And he was a cantor in one of them.
In Israel?
In Israel.
Oh, wow.
And I used to go to the synagogue when he was the synagogue that he was a cantor. They're not encouraged to go. I mean, even girls are not they're not doing reading from the Torah you know. And when I came to America, I mean, many years ago, and I started teaching at temples, I prepared girls and boys for bar mitzvah and bat mitzvah for many years, and that was new to me. And I remember I called my dad and I told him that I'm teaching girls the Ta'amei Mikra.
How did he respond?
There was dead silence in the beginning, and then he started laughing. You know, he was shocked. He was shocked, and he was like, "Okay," you know. But that opened my perception, and it showed me that there are other ways of participating in Judaism and practicing Judaism, and I, you know, like conservative Judaism.
Yeah.
It's like women and men sit together, families sit together and pray, and I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, this is what we.
But you know what they would say, what the Orthodox rabbinical would say, as I also grew up in a Moroccan family, and
Right.
you know, there is the story that is ingrained
Right.
in our head of how things need to be, the stories,
Right.
and really, and you know, and the Zohar, and it's encouraging us, and the scriptures encouraging us to think outside of the box. Actually,
Right.
it does encourage us.
Right.
But they would say that, well, you know, when you have a foundation for the house, you can't just change the foundation as it's comfortable. Do you think that conservatism, Judaism, or reform is really just changing the rules just so it's comfortable?
I mean, there is a difference between conservatives and reform. Reform make a lot of changes, and I was involved with both, like streams, like with conservatives I taught for many years, and with reform movement, and I think Israelis are more conservative Jews without a temple, without a synagogue. I mean, the women at least, you know, very traditional. Following a lot of the holidays and the mitzvot, and doing many things. So I don't see too many changes in the conservative movement. I mean, they're very close to the way I grew up, you know. I just like the fact that women can together sit down, and girls are encouraged to participate as a family in a congregation and pray, and not to have like this, you know, balcony, mirpeset, where the women are, you know, sitting by themselves and not allowed to participate or read from the Torah.
Yeah.
And I think it's, you know, it's equality.
It's more, I totally agree with you. I think it's more than equality.
Right.
I mean, really, everything starts from the feminine.
Right.
Right? So everything.
Right.
I mean, what gives birth to everything?
Right.
The feminine. Even the masculine has to be born somehow.
Right.
So there is a, you know, and in Judaism and in the Kabbalah, really, the feminine, the woman has an extra bina.
Right.
Has an extra understanding.
Right.
A wider gamut. Like, you want to do something, right? And you think, hey, this is a great business, I'm going to do this. And then your wife tells you, yeah, but did you think about this?
Exactly.
Did you think about this? Yeah. So...
And I think that's one of the reasons they say why the girls, women, doesn't need to do bat mitzvah to read from the Torah, because they are being born with the Torah within them, with
Right.
that wisdom, with that bina, you know. So they don't need to do what us need to do, and between us, they right.
So right, so
Yeah, that's
beyond,
I mean,
yeah.
women have extra bina. They're born with this
Yeah.
understanding, this greater understanding,
Of course.
and it is.
But it's also the fact that women cannot be bound to mitzvot that have like time obligation. Like, you can like wake up in the morning, you have to take care of the kids, you have to, I mean, they have,
That's right.
It makes sense in a way if you think about
Absolutely.
it. It's not like I'm not a feminist. I mean, I think a mom at home, you know, it's very important. You can have your career and everything, but I mean, it is challenging and difficult to do everything, you know, to be a career woman and also to raise a family. But I think today there are ways, and it's possible to do. I know I have the choice to be happy, with many reasons to be sad. And when I look at the sky is happy, and the world goes round and round. I know I have the choice to be happy, like a flower blooms, like a butterfly. I will touch the sky while the ocean in its fullness roars. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ירם הים ומלואו, 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 ירם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ. ירם הים ומלואו, 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 ירם הים ומלואו. ישמחו השמיים ותגל הארץ.
Many women that call themselves feminists say that no, we're not. We want to have. We are equal, and we don't want to do this kind of work because they see that a traditional, let's put it this way, housework is diminishing the woman's power. And I think on the contrary, what is
Right.
Akeret Habayit is Ikar.
Ikar Habayit, it's the main, it's the essence.
It's the essence of
Right,
the house.
right.
And before that, I mean, think about it. If a human, a person, an entity that gives birth, this is like the most complex, complicated, idea in nature, in creation. To give birth, she's doing the job of what God is doing, give
right.
birth to whatever.
That's right.
Same thing in nature, to be an entity that is capable of doing that, you must be way more advanced than all the other
Absolutely.
creatures, entities, whatever you want to call them, in nature, in life.
And I think it is really the fear that of the patriarchy
Yes.
that dominated for thousands of years, and now we are experiencing this shift, this
Right.
wonderful
Yeah.
shift
Right.
we're experiencing. So
Amazing.
So Yakira, you also were in the Israeli singing band, right?
Right, להקת צבאית.
In the army in Israel, there is, and I don't know if the States there is, but there is a singing band, army singing band. So if for some reason you are not able to hold a gun or fight,
Right.
there are, for the talented ones, there is a singing groups that from there came out really profound musicians.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And so you've been. So how was the? So now how did you guys meet? How did you? I mean.
You want to share?
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because it's connected to the army band. I had a friend that moved to LA I didn't know that she was here, and I got a scholarship to study at least Strasbourg.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I came to class and she was there. Like it was like an accent reduction class that all the foreigners had to take, right?
Yeah.
It was insulting a little bit, but do I have an accent? But we had to take it, and she was there. And what are you doing here? And she was playing in a band with Aaron.
She was a singer. I played with Pini Cohen.
She was a singer with my band in Israel.
For many years. He's, by the way, Izar Cohen's.
Izar Cohen's
brother.
Very
Very
prolific, profound musician. Prolific
in Israel,
musician.
we call him the Israeli Jackson family, right?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
Chofni
Yes,
and it's
yes.
Valdina and
Yes,
everybody.
yes.
So I played with Pini for many years. A very good friend.
Isn't he? He's here.
He's here.
Yeah.
He's in LA.
Yeah, he's
He's been
accordion,
in
plays
LA
accordion, yeah.
since the 70s.
Yeah. I've met
Yeah.
him a few times.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she
So
was the
she
lead
was
singer. I
in-
was the drummer.
Yeah, and she had a party, and she said you have to come, and we met there.
We met there
Oh, this
for
is
the first
amazing.
time.
Yeah.
This is amazing, and since then it's history.
Yeah.
So you knew that you guys are going to make music together?
I mean,
Was
for me,
obvious?
for me, songwriting is, how should I say, it's healing. I have to do it. I mean, it's a part of my, I don't
It
think,
is.
it's like, so it's something that I always did since I was like a teenager, writing songs. And when I met Aaron, he's also a
Yeah.
composer. He also, and when we came together, we started working in the studio. That was a part of the,
I mean, I noticed immediately that Yakira has great talent. I had my studio. I was doing a lot of projects, TV stuff, and I noticed that she was back then, because she was pretty new here. Just like a year.
No, 2 years. I was here already 2
Yeah.
years.
And she was singing, still writing and singing in Hebrew. You're here in America, give it a shot. Try something new. I mean, you were singing. I mean, obviously, when you grew up, you were singing a lot in English.
Yeah.
Growing up on stuff from America, from England.
I don't know about
And she
you.
started to do stuff in English, and boom, from the first song, it was right there.
So we did many projects. We did like, I
lot.
think so far like 25 projects that we released.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And you were also
Different
in the Shalom
CDs
Band. It's
and
called
DVD.
Shalom Band
Yeah.
in the 90s?
Yes. So
Right.
yeah, before I came here, I was the lead singer in Shalom Band. It was with Gavri Levy, and
Yeah.
it was like a band. It's like hora dance, like a hora group, with singers.
Hora is an
It's like an Israeli
traditional,
dance.
somewhat like a line dancing, but it's the Israeli circular dancing.
Right. So that was a very well-known band in the 90s, and they used to travel. We used to travel performing in front of how do you call it, like for elderly Jewish retirement, like Jewish
Like the Jewish homes,
Jewish
garden.
homes. Oh yeah. So Jewish communities all over the United
Gotcha.
States, and so that was quite an experience. That was the first time I came to America. So yeah. אדוני מלך גאות לבש אדוני מלך מעולם אתה נשאו נהרות אדוני the rivers rise up אדוני Adonai, 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 Adonai. The rivers rise up, Adonai. Mikolot מים רבים, אדירים, משברי ים. מקולות מים רבים, אדיר במרום, אדוני. The rivers rise up, Adonai. I was always involved with performing to Jewish communities. From Israel, I was sent to Russia.
Oh, wow.
You know, I had like an experience of Anna Karenina. We were like, during the night, we were like traveling in trains and sleeping in trains and coming to different like, communities and
wow.
performing. Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes, with Ronnie Somek, the poet, and another guitar player that we were traveling in Russia. So yeah, but I feel like when I came to America, I rediscovered Judaism. So that was for me, starting teaching at temples and...
So you found that you were closer, you're getting closer to your roots when you were here, away from Israel.
Yes, and there was like, I think, today there are many Israelis here, but I think like 23 years ago, there were not so many.
Yeah.
And I started teaching, it was different.
So it's like the meaning, Rabbi Sachs, right? He says, the meaning of a system always lies outside of the system.
Right.
And it's really like that.
Yeah.
Me as well, leaving Israel, finding the meaning really outside of it because we're not in it, and it's there is this connection, this divine connection that is greater here.
Yeah.
And coming back to spirituality and the roots and Judaism and Kabbalah and all that.
Yeah.
It's just
It's been a journey since day one, through everything, through Zen and Kabbalah and Hindu and Tao, and Judaism and you name it.
So you've experienced, you've tasted many dishes.
Yes.
Many dishes.
Both of you, or you more, or how is that?
Even in Israel, it was all part of a journey, that
a spiritual journey, not a religious one.
Yeah, for sure.
You just, to just seek for the truth, seek for what's really going on, So when you do that, you go through everything. So like you said, many dishes.
Every religion promises the truth, right? And you have to taste it, and then you see if it works for you.
But you also have to look at history. Let's face it. I mean, there are historical facts. So you need to look at some history before.
I mean, history, it's also a tricky thing. His story. So how do you know if the history is...
Well, I'm looking at history not from a religious perspective.
No, me too.
that
Yeah, but you
pattern
know
in
what?
certain
When
things, you know?
when it's in the middle of your journey, it's an individual kind of thing.
That's
It
true.
depends what moment in your life, in your evolution, in your personal evolution, you find yourself, seeking for something, and you find it somewhere in that very moment, and then you go with it, and then this open another door, this open another door, and I totally agree with you that this journey had to open up to completely different level of realizations here in America. When you leave your, comfort
zone, yeah.
Ima and Abba and the family and everything, and all of a sudden you have so much space, so much room, so much time, so much energy, so much passion, and you find it all over around you. If it was, remember the Bodhi tree
Yeah.
store, I used to live there. I used
We
to
love the
spend
store.
hours, and then when we met, we used to go there every day, maybe. Other people going to restaurants and to movies, we used to go to the Bodhi tree and open books and just, forget about time, forget about everything, just
Well, this is, when
live there.
Well, once to the eternal question of what's the meaning of life, right? Is really to make meaning, and this is exactly what you're talking about. Is so somebody can go through Christianity, which was not invented by Jesus, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But everybody, if you go through, I was in a group that is like a Jews for Jesus for about 12 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So well, now
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Now
yeah.
you know too.
Yeah. Okay. Now I didn't go that far. I mean, I didn't. We experimented with Buddhism and different,
Yeah.
but
mostly
not yet.
like Eastern stuff.
Eastern
Tao,
stuff, yeah.
A lot
So-
of Tao, a lot of Zen. But I went to a few times. Friends of mine, Christian friends, in my journey, I wanted to experience Sunday in a Christian church.
Yeah.
Catholic and others, and it was amazing. It was an amazing, or
Yeah.
African American, with
Experience,
all the
yeah.
gospel and everything. You feel, no matter where you go, your soul is lifted up.
Right.
Your energy
That's
is,
right.
because it's all about love. It's all about being together. It's all about really what life is all about. So you can.
What are you talking? What is all? What are you talking about?
No
What
matter
is it?
where you're coming from,
It's
you
really
can
what
be
we make of
Christian.
it. Really, I
When
think,
you go to a
when we
place,
make-
when you feel like your spirit is lifted, when you come to a place where it's positive, you feel like you're growing as a person.
right.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about. I want to make this distinction.
Right.
It's not
right.
about the religion. Or
But
no.
it's not something.
about-
It's not. Yeah. I feel like a religion is a tool. It's a tool for you to take yourself to higher levels of consciousness, to being closer to the Creator. You can. I mean, there are many names. Everybody calls the Habore, Hashem. I mean, the
Hashem,
Adonai. I
everybody,
mean, there
everything.
are many names. The Creator, right?
Yes.
I believe in creation. I don't believe
Of course.
in the Big Bang. Obviously.
Well, I mean, the Big Bang
But
is
some
actually-
rabbis do, which I find interesting.
When you think about this, I mean, the Big Bang, really, everything started from a circle, from a dot of light.
Right.
So that was the oomph of like consciousness spreading in through that little dot. That's why circle has been all the time the symbol of wholeness.
Right.
Because this is the dot of light was a circle. Everything started from a circle, from a,
Right.
But what was before this circle?
another existence.
Right. Right.
Well,
That's why also in the Kabbalah, we say that there are 6,000 years in Judaism, right?
Right.
What is, the way that I look at that is the 6,000 years is equivalent to the 6 days of the week. The man was created on the 6th day, and that's when
Right.
time started. And now we're in 5781,
Right.
which is like almost before the Shabbat,
Right.
in essence, to the 6,000, which is almost towards the end of this cycle,
Right.
or the stretch at the end of this cycle.
Right.
It doesn't mean that stuff didn't exist before, or
Right.
in other worlds.
Right.
But it's fascinating.
It's very deep.
It's very deep.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Olivia. Oh, you're here.
Yes.
Sorry.
it's okay.
kinda-
They used to it. They used to. I mean, they growing up on different kind of truth. Let's
Yes.
put it this way. That's much deeper and much closer.
Thank you for being here, both of you, Olivia and Lenny. Olivia, you're playing the flute. How long have you been playing the? First of all, how is it? I mean, you can say it here so they don't hear. But how is it to be with a family playing?
Ah,
Do you like it? Good.
God, where do you sleep tonight?
Yeah. No.
No,
I mean, you can't force music, you
of
know?
course not.
For example, Ella didn't want to come today, so it's fine. You know, it's not like anybody's forced. I asked them, do you want to come? Yes.
Oh,
So,
that's great.
you know, so they were happy to come.
So how long have you been playing the flute?
When did you
About
start?
a year.
A year ago?
Last summer,
Last summer.
Yes.
So when I met you March,
she was
She was
just
playing for a
just
few
a few
months.
months already.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
that's wonderful. We had another recording that didn't happen, but
Yeah.
what drew you to the flute? Here, can talk to here.
You have a good
You
story
told me
about
you
it.
have a good
Yeah,
story.
you have a good
You have a
story
wonderful
about it.
story.
It's
I
not
would love
just
to
a
hear your
random,
story.
decision that she made. There was something
a
from a
book?
book, right?
Yeah. So tell me.
Tell them.
I would love to hear your story. This might capture your essence.
There was a book and a girl in it who played the flute, and I also wanted to.
What book was that? Do you
I
remember?
don't remember.
You don't remember? Was it in English, in Hebrew?
English.
English. Do you
So
like reading books? Do you like reading books? Yeah. What kind of books do you like?
What's your favorite book?
I don't know.
We just got you one, right? A couple
But
of
I mean, one day she came and she said, I read that there is a girl in a book that she plays the flute, and I want to play the flute. I
Oh, that's
said, oh my
great.
gosh, this is amazing, you know? So this shows you, I mean, how books can open your mind and take you to
Yeah.
different world and influence your daily experience
Absolutely.
even, you know? This is just amazing.
Way better
Yes.
than movies, because movies just lock your imagination.
Yeah.
into
Oh
one
yes,
thing.
Absolutely.
yes.
And same day with her, with
With Lenny.
Lenny, with the
With the
violin.
violin.
The next day we went to Semash when we got them a flute and a violin. They started to play.
You know, this
They're
is so
taking
great.
lessons.
It's so great that you have parents that are supporting your music. I wanted, when I started, I had to pull teeth
Yeah.
to get something, to get a guitar that was, I mean, eventually my parents got me and stuff like that, but I did everything myself. There was no family,
Yeah.
nobody was a musician,
Right.
really. And so this
And
is,
some families are not embracing music, and
Yeah.
you know they think. I mean, you should get a real job. Yeah,
I'm happy
yeah.
to say now in my case,
I mean, even though I want them to get real jobs, you know, we talked about it before.
like a rabbi.
No, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
there you go. They have
Well,
good
but I think
inspiration at home.
I think everybody should have, at least as a child. I mean, I don't expect them to be professional musicians. It's not, I mean, they can choose whatever they want, but I mean, I think every child should be exposed to arts and music, and I mean, it lets your heart sing, for
It
real.
does,
I
it
mean, it
does.
opens you in ways that kids that are not experienced that. I mean, it's a shame. It limits. It closes. You know, and we want to expand. We want to give, you know, freedom to the soul, and I think music does it.
That's
I
right.
must say that music, being a musician all my life, opens so many spiritual doors. Because I mean, you are. It's like you exist most of the time on a very high level of like a spiritual,
Above the ground.
Yes, yeah.
A little bit,
So
just
you open.
you're a little
levitating.
bit
It's like
right.
levitating
Yes,
a little
yes.
bit.
So if you're lucky and it comes your way and you are awake to it, you will go, and you go to great places. Some people go to the opposite, but at least you have the options, the potential to go to amazing places, and to discover,
Wow, this is
a lot.
amazing.
And
Yeah.
this happiness lies in that realm. It's
That's
not
right.
in the material world.
Absolutely.
It's not in buying more stuff or acquiring
Absolutely.
more
Yeah.
things. Or, you know, Ezehu Ashir. No, not Ezehu. I forgot the sentence.
זהו השיר
Ezehu
השמח
Ashir,
בחלקו.
Asamach
בחלקו.
Bechelko, but there is another one that I forgot. You are the happiest when you're happy with what you have.
Exactly.
The more you want, the more miserable you become.
Yeah.
You know, it's the truth. The less you want to acquire, you have this calmness and you have this,
The
peace in your
satisfaction,
heart.
This
And
fulfillment.
you see it a lot with our artists, that all they need is to do their thing. They don't need a lot of material.
That's right.
They just and it's a process of go within, and we know that everything comes from within.
That's
out-
right.
Outside,
That's right.
nothing can come from
That's
outside
right.
in. So it gives you a potential. It doesn't say that oh, you're a musician, so you're going to be Buddha one day. No, you still need to work.
That's right.
Oh, it's a daily work, but I think also the Corona, in a way, it's there are some blessings in disguise.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
people cannot keep going like to stores and and to travel to places. I mean, you have to deal with you. For the first time, I think,
Exactly.
that
No,
you're
first time
forced.
ever.
I mean, that it's not an option. For us, it was always an option, and we always chose to we never.
But for most people, yeah,
for
they
most
work.
people, I mean,
you know.
they live outside, even their spiritual life. That and this kind of like it's a gift.
Brings you in.
To brings you in.
Absolutely. The before the Quranic time, has been everybody. It's like almost like we practiced it as a global.
Right.
Everybody was in their phone, was in their iPad. Leave me alone. I'm
Right.
in my world.
Right.
I'm in this. So you asked for it. You got it.
Right.
Now, what it appears to be is that we recognize. I know that I recognize even more. I can see it in you, but people
Right.
recognize the importance and the essence of really what is our power, and our
Right.
power and our livelihood is the connection, is the coming together. Look at the trees; they're only like maybe 6 feet deep, the roots,
Right, right.
but their width and
Right.
going spreading and tying one to the other, each root, each tree that is entangled with the other tree's roots. That's really what makes them strong.
Right.
You know, so absolutely, this is bringing us together.
Yeah, we had a
I
great
see
chance.
this to me as a blessing. This has
Right.
been a
Humanity
blessing.
has, for the first time maybe ever, a great chance to become sovereign again.
Right.
To go back to where we, to our roots, which are way, way, way deeper than go to Target and shop and shop and shop.
Exactly.
And to the malls and everything. The fact that the malls are closed is actually a great chance for us,
It's a wonderful
spend
thing.
times within and outside and with the family. It's amazing because a lot of people in this era, in the Corona era, in the last 6 months, some of them are missing what was before, but not a lot. You see that a lot of people are kind of like feeling, hey, it feels
That's the
good, it
shift.
feels familiar. Something is, I'm not going to work, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing all the stuff that I loved doing, not
Past,
really,
yeah. So yeah, so coming together this Quranic time really is teaching a lot, and it's interesting. It falls exactly in these holidays in Rosh Hashanah, where
It started in Passover.
it started in Passover, but this whole time, really this energetic time, Rosh Hashanah, to look into ourselves and to look
Right.
into our actions,
Right.
and then Sukkot to be in joy and really to find the essence of things. This is just been a blessing.
Blessing, but challenging for kids.
Oh, for kids and for parents.
For parents
I mean,
as well,
you know,
but I think for kids it's even more.
And it's just the beginning.
and it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. So many layers to peel.
Well, Lenny, how do you like how are you with the Corona?
I'm missing my friends and going to dance class and going to Hebrew school because I like it more when I can actually play with my friends rather than seeing them on Zoom.
Because you can't touch anybody, you can't be near anybody, right? You can't feel their presence. You can't.
It became a 2D experience.
But let me ask you, Lenny, before the Corona, or you maybe, Olivia, before the Corona, did you like more gadgets and like playing games or iPad or phone or stuff like that? Were you like this before the Corona started, or were you always music connected? You're always like that?
But they're
That's
still
good.
like that. They're not too much. They're not into video games or anything.
And seeing you guys and knowing you guys,
Yeah.
I know that they probably didn't have much of out and games
Yeah.
and only out and
No,
stuff
but
like
they
that.
had a lot of activities. They used to do lots of musical theater and
Dancing classes.
dancing and singing classes, but in groups with groups of kids.
So it was
they
more,
had a lot of friends.
So it was they weren't practicing isolation with
No.
iPads and phone. They were together.
No,
so
they have a very nice balance between actually they miss more and they like more than being together with their other friends. They've been doing like 3, 4, 5 shows every year, working like 2, 3 months
Wow.
before each show, and it was dancing, it was singing, it was acting, it was all year
Non-stop,
long
12 months a year.
for 7
So,
years
yeah.
straight.
That's
So
amazing.
all of a sudden,
Every
like a
day in
big
the
hall.
afternoon, they used to take classes and different activities.
And then they had like 3 days a week Hebrew school in 2 different temples. And there are more friends over there. And
Are we gonna sing
connect
another
with them.
song?
Yes. That's what I was just thinking about this. I was waiting for him to finish his sentence,
Yes.
Yeah.
but she can interrupt you. That's
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to hear another song,
Terry, תעזבי את זה.
Let There Be Light. And if you understand Hebrew, in America, we are in America, the Israeli magazine, wonderful article, Let There Be Light, talking about the family, talking about the music, about the new CD. And
And I'd like to thank Eyal Shemesh for supporting us and Ayala that wrote the article. Thank you so much.
okay, Ayala Oel,
Yes.
okay, for writing the article, and Shemesh, Eyal Shemesh.
Yes.
Wonderful. So what are we going to hear? What are you going to play?
Let There Be
Let
Light,
There Be Light.
Vayehi Or, the title of our CD.
Wonderful.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless, dark and empty, till God said, let there be light. Let there be light, Vayehi Or. Let there be light, Vayehi Or. Let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light, Vayehi Or. Let there be light, Vayehi Or. Let there be light. Let there be light. And there was light, and light was good. The earth had night and day. Then the sky, the ocean too, and trees and flowers bloom. Let there be light, Vayehi Or. Let there be light, Vayehi Or. Let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light, Vayehi Or. Let there be light, Vayehi Or. Let there be light. 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 Vayehi
Wow, thank you very much. Wonderful.
Thank you.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך יישא אדוני פניו אליך ויעשה לך שלום, שלום.
singing it here in the Sukkah. Thank you so much. This is such a wonderful experience.
So we're looking forward to coming back together as a community.
Amen. Amen.
Zoom has been good to us. We do many Zoom sessions, and we're going to soon have like in Texas actually, Simchat Torah, that we're doing it in Zoom with a temple, a wonderful temple in Texas. We're doing different events on Zoom, but we miss the connection with the people, and I pray and I hope that this whole thing was only a good reminder, and it's not going to last for longer than, and we can resume some of the activities that we enjoyed, and
well, hopefully it's not going to be as it was, just going to ascend.
It's not going to be as it was for sure.
Yes.
Everybody is different now, and we've been. I think this experience changed everything and everybody. So it's not about going back, but it's about becoming better, but coming together and not being afraid, and hopefully. Refuah shlema to all the sick people, and that everybody will heal, and may we all have a healthy year.
Amen.
And full of joy.
Amen.
And full of light.
Amen.
Let there be light.
Amen. And it's really about practicing saying it, intentioning it, and saying it, so we can say it, so we can hear the words, because the words, really the power, the divine in the words, the divine energy in the words. So we say that. So
say light as many times as you can during the day. Light, and even if you don't feel it, smile and say light. It will make you even fake it till you make it, right? Just do it, and it's going to happen. It's going to change your day.
It's going to happen, and one of the most practical things that you could do, as we talked about earlier, is really to remember what you have.
Right. You need to count. It's actually forcing yourself to count your blessings.
Amen.
Adonai, Malach, Geut, Lave, Adonai, Malach, Me'olam, Ata, Nas'u, Neharo, Adonai, the rivers rise up, Adonai, Mikolot, Ma'im, Rabim, Adirim, Mishberei Yam, Mikolot, Ma'im, Rabim, Adir, Bamarom, Adonai. Adonai, Malach, Geut, Lave, Adonai, Malach, Me'olam, Ata, Nas'u, Neharo, Adonai, the river, rise up, Adonai, Mikolot, Ma'im, Rabim, Adirim, Mishberei Yam, Mikolot, Ma'im, Rabim, Adir, Bamarom, Adonai. לבש, אדוני מעלה מעולם, אתה נשוא נהרות, אדוני, the rivers rise up, אדוני.
Focus on what you have, it's going to heal you. That's what's going to make you strong. Sticking to the light and joining the light force and not the, fear and lacking and brings you down and you become ill. It becomes you become weak.
And it affects the body. It affects the physical body. We're talking about the when people are not happy with what they have. It's really the soul and the nefesh, the soul and the body. The soul is yearning for this connection, and many times we think we're tricking the soul by buying another car. But the soul recognizes that you tricked me. So now the need is greater because the same thing won't satisfy the spiritual connection. So you need more and more, and that's where the more and more comes from.
You become a consumer.
Thought, you can change your thought. Thinking, thought, it's the most powerful. It can be your enemy, and it can be your
ally.
Your ally. Exactly. Your thought. You control your thought. You can think bad thoughts, or you can think good thoughts. It's going to influence for sure the way you are and the way you feel.
We have to have another discussion about that.
Yeah, I mean, today more than ever, we need to think good thoughts because it's going to make our bodies stronger and we can fight anything that will come our way. You know?
That's right. Because when we are focusing on the need, on what is missing, then we are also attracting because we're magnets. So we attract the same. We attract like. Yeah. We attract the same thing. So we're in this despair or in need. Oh, I need this, I need this, I need this. Or why is this doing? Then it gets more. But when we're focusing on, and we practice, it's a muscle. Practice.
Right.
When we focus on positive outcomes, positive places where we want to be, fake it till you make it, where I want to be there, that's where I want to be. Let's think in that fashion. How would I feel when I'm there?
You can start even by just saying, I feel good. Exactly. Even if you don't feel good, say, I feel good,
Exactly.
And it's going to change.
Exactly.
I mean, you're going to, it's your thought. Absolutely. And if you have a bad thought, replace it. Absolutely. Once you're aware of it, say, I'm not going to go there. Replace it. Even if you're in pain, say, I feel good, And it's a reverse psychology. It's going to help bring you to the place you want to be, you want to be. A happy place.
A happy place. Amen. Thank you so much. It's been such a blessing, wonderful opening of really kind of doing a program here with live people. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. This is Abracadabra, create what you speak, literally. I'm iLan Azoulai. Thank you so much for being here and have a wonderful experience.